Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Titan Town. Today's topic is brought to you by Brandon. I appreciate you for presenting me with the topic and supporting the channel. He wanted me to break down the linebacker position of the Tennessee Titans. He also mentioned that he liked my Keith Bulluck jersey. Really appreciate that. Right now, it's just too hot to be wearing a jersey here. It's about 100 degrees outside, and it feels like about 115, 120. If you had one of them little plug-in heaters that you just plug into the wall, and if you sat right there in front of it, put your face to it, and took a deep breath, and you breathed in all that hot air, that's kind of what it feels like outside when you go outside to breathe because of all that humidity. It just soaks right into your clothes, and you're just sweating instantly. Before we get into this topic, I wanted to give you guys a few quick announcements I always seem to forget to put in my videos. In the description box below, you'll find links to my blog. I also have more time to write than I do to sit down and do these videos. The weekend is whenever I usually have time to get here and pop some videos out. I also launched a brand new Facebook page, a like page, which is Town of Titans. If you typed in Titan Town, or no, it's called Titan Town, but if you typed in Titan Town 11 in the search bar on Facebook, it should come right up. But I'll have that linked in the description box below as well. You can also follow me on Twitter at Town of Titans with an S at the end of it. Unfortunately, Titan Town was taken on Twitter, so I had to come up with something a little bit different. So anyways, let's break down the linebacker position for the Titans. I'm going to include the edge rushers because they're kind of like a hybrid linebacker. They're edge rushing specialists who also have a little bit of linebacking responsibilities in the coverage aspect of the game. So we'll start and we'll go from left to right, and then we'll work our way down the roster as well. So let's go ahead and jump into this with Derek Morgan. Derek Morgan is a solid veteran. He's kind of underrated in the league. He's not no flashy player, but he comes out there and he gets the job done. He only missed one game for us last season. That was against the Detroit Lions. But other than that, he had a solid season. He ended up with 9.5 sacks for us. So very solid veteran there. Almost got to that 10 sack mark. He started coming on towards the end of the season. And I'd say probably from week 9 on last year, he was a Pro Bowl caliber player, and he might have made the Pro Bowl if he was playing that well throughout the whole season. Playing right beside him in the inside linebacker position is Avery Williamson, and I'm kind of proud to say that I played against Avery in high school. He lives in the next town just north of me, so that's kind of cool. That's a cool story to tell. Very good against the run. I think PFF, I think they had him at 1. He might have been at 2, but I think they might have had him at 1 as the top linebacker against the run this year. He graded out the best against any other linebacker in the league this past year. Very solid. I know a lot of people knock him for his coverage skills, and that's something that he does need to work on. But against the run, very solid piece to have there. Not only that, he is starting to kind of manifest himself into a leader role on this football team. He's kind of stepped up. If you listen to him talk and you listen to the players around him talk, he's definitely starting to take over a leadership role and become the captain of the defense that the inside linebacker should be. And then next to Avery Williamson, he has a solid veteran beside him, and that is Wesley Woodyard. And PFF had him as the number 2. I just seen this today. Had him as the number 2 linebacker, best in coverage. Linebacker from the Eagles was number 1, but he was number 2. He did record an interception. I believe it was in the Denver game. I have a bad memory, you guys, but I believe it was in the Denver game where he recorded an interception. He kind of had a comeback season last year. He got back to playing like he was in his prime. Very, very solid season last year. Beside him, we have Brian Orakpo, our right side, outside linebacker, edge rusher, whatever you want to call that. He plays right there behind Terrell Casey. He had a very solid year. He hit that double-digit sack mark. He had 10 for us, and he even made the Pro Bowl. Really, he come to Tennessee, he got healthy, and he started playing up to his draft potential as he was drafted in the round 1 by the Washington Redskins. So happy to have him and happy that he came alive and started playing well for us now that he's healthy and able to stay healthy. Hopefully he will be able to continue that here in Tennessee. Between him and Derek Morgan, they almost got us to the 20 sack mark. We ended up with 19.5 between the two. We ended up with 40 overall as a team. I know that ranked top 5. I'm not for sure we're at in the top 5. I know we ranked top 5 in that. Now we'll start talking about some of the guys lower on the depth chart. We'll start out on the right side. Aaron Wallace. he has the versatility to play inside or out. He had a very solid rookie campaign. Again, kind of like Morgan, he's nothing flashy, but he can come in there and get the job done. He is versatile enough to play inside or out, and still a very young player. Lots of room to grow, and I'm sure that he's going to develop into a very solid linebacker for us, and that's a very good deal from a seventh-round pick. We also have Darren Bates, who we signed out of free agency. He was signed to be a special teams player, but reports from camp is he is very fast and he has been very good in coverage, and we need somebody who can be very good in coverage as well. So Darren Bates, if he can come in and maybe play a third and long position role in the defense, that would work out good for us. Just whatever, if the coaching staff can use him in more positions besides for special teams, that would be great. I don't think we should waste a roster spot on somebody who is just strictly going to be for special teams, even though we are focusing on special teams. But we have signed a lot of players for special teams this year, so I'm sure someone else could pick up that slack if we were to cut him because he couldn't carve out at least a minimum role on the defensive side of the ball. We also drafted Josh Caraway. I really like this kid. I scouted him myself this year. I was very shocked when we got him in the 7th round. I was thinking that he would probably go somewhere in early to mid 5th round. The thing about Josh is there's a lot of upside with him. He's very athletic. He has nice long arms to get separation from the tackles or offensive lineman who is guarding him. The thing about him is he has a very raw skill set, but and he needs to gain a little bit of weight. I say he probably should put on 10, 15, maybe 20 pounds, add some strength for the NFL. But even though he's very raw, he has a lot of upside and a lot of potential, and he possibly could develop into one of those flashy players in the NFL. Kind of like, he really reminds me of, and you guys know that I'm terrible, Aldon Smith from the San Francisco 49ers that keeps getting suspended. He kind of reminds me of that, just a skill set that is more raw. They're both very athletic. They're both very long and rangy. So that's the very ceiling for him. He could reach that ceiling, and he could be even better than that if he can stay out of trouble, unlike Aldon Smith seems to have a hard time doing. We also have Jayon Brown. Reports from camp, we drafted him in the 5th round. Reports from camp is that he is very fast. He's a lot faster than what he looked at on tape, but the thing is we haven't put pads on yet. But they're saying he's very good in coverage, and that's why we drafted him to be a coverage linebacker. We really got burnt by tight ends, especially tight ends last year in the passing game. Running backs did a little bit of a number on us, nothing too bad, but the tight ends, we really got to do a better job of covering those guys up this year. So that was the role Jayon Brown was drafted for. And we also got Kevin Dodd. He got to play in one game last season. He might have played more than one, but he got to start one game against the Detroit Lions. He had a solid game in that game. He actually got to sack Matthew Stafford once. We really don't know completely what he is all about yet. He's really going to have to come in and work his tail off and get caught up. He sat out basically his whole rookie year with an injury. So I'm kind of excited to see what he can do, and I'm kind of anxious, but I'm also getting tired of waiting on him at the same time. So hopefully we'll get to see what he's all about this year. But that is my breakdown for the linebacker position. That was for Brandon. Thank you for submitting this topic. If there's anything Titan related you want me to talk about, drop it in the comment section below, and I will get you featured and shout out in a video, just like I did Brandon here today. Also, remember to stay tightened up, and I am working on some software to kind of upgrade and edit these videos for you guys to give you better quality, give you something better to look at. I definitely want to do something like that, and I want this to be a Titans community page, so I want you guys to be involved. So I'm going to let you know what I'm doing, what I'm working on. The guys from Titan Tube, if you haven't checked them out, you should go check them out. They got some very interesting videos there. They actually hooked me up and told me what kind of software I need, so I appreciate that from them. And remember, you guys, tighten up. Hope y'all have a great day. And camp starts in 1 week from today, so that's something to be excited about. Have a good day.